Alright, so I've been researching about crocheting your dreads and I'm super excited by the results I've gotten. I've only done 2 so far, but they're like amazing how tight it's gotten them. This is one right here that you see. This is the first one I did, and I wanted to make a recording of it now while I'm at the beginning of the process, so that you could see something close to the front of my head as far as what a huge difference it makes. So I went out to my local craft store, which is Michael's, and I bought a crochet hook. I have watched other videos that suggested that you start at about 1 millimeter, but our Michael's doesn't sell a 1 millimeter by itself. You can buy like a 1.15 that's in like a big package that has it's like $9.99, and I'm too cheap to buy the whole package. So the one I got that was the smallest I could find by itself is 1.3 millimeters. So I'm going to use that, and yeah, let's get started. I'm going to show you the difference between the one I did here, and this is one I haven't done yet. But I want you to really be able to see the difference between the roots at this one, how nice and tight it is as compared to how loose this one is. And this is pretty normal for my dreads right now, and they're 6 weeks old. So I'm going to do this one, and let me pull this one back so it's not in the way. We're going to do this one, and then I'm going to be able to compare it to this one so you can see the difference. I can't promise it'll be terribly interesting because I'm not sure how long it'll take me, but you can always skip ahead. So here we go. I'm going to start at the roots, and I have my thumb underneath, and I hold it with my thumb and middle finger here. And I'm holding it nice and tight at the root, and I'll actually twist it a little bit so as I want it nice and tight at the root. Then I take my crochet hook, and I'm holding it just kind of like a pen. I don't know how well you can see that. And it's hard to see. Here, see if I can move a little bit. Hard to see, so, and then I'm kind of just going to poke it in and out real fast. And I'm kind of putting it right in between my thumb and my, right in between my fingers, all of them. So, here we go. So you just kind of go in and out real quick. And you'll see as I'm going that it might make little zigzags here. That's totally normal, and once we get down to that part, it'll all go away, and it'll be a perfect little dread. So, and you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but with this hand, I'm twisting the dread pretty frequently, and that helps to make sure that everything gets nice and round. You don't want a flat dread, because that's, well, unless you do want a flat dread, then don't roll it, but I know I want mine to be nice and round, so. Alright, feels to me like it's getting pretty good. In a second I'll pull away so you can see. You see here how it's starting to get all bunched up. That's totally normal. That'll go away. Okay, so you can kind of see here how tight the root has gotten compared to how it was. Let's see the one right here. Already you can see a big difference. So let's keep moving here. And I want to kind of show you what I'm doing without my fingers in the way. I know it's hard to see. Every video that I've seen on YouTube about this, you never actually see because the person's fingers are always in the way, which is an important part of it. But alright, so got it in. I'm just kind of going in and out real quick. Sometimes it goes all the way through and comes all the way back out, and sometimes it doesn't. Either way is fine. So let me get my fingers back up in here and do this right. It's really important to keep your fingers over it though, because it helps condense all the hairs and make it nice and round like I was talking about. I have to say, I've watched a few videos on different ways to do this, and I really wanted to do this method, and the one I watched, it was really amazing how they were doing it and how great the dreads looked. And I watched it, and I was worried about how easy and hard it would be, and it actually came really easily. But to be fair, I guess I'm something of a visual learner, so that helps a bit. But even still, I figured that if I have this video in addition to that one, that it will help people out. It's a little more informative as a how-to You can see I'm just kind of working my way down the thread, and you can kind of feel with your fingers when it's nice and tight, and then you can start moving on. Look over here, you can kind of see I've done down to here. You can see how it's much thinner up here, and then it kind of gets fat again. You can see how much of a difference it makes. It's really cool. Alright, so moving on. I'm about 5 minutes in here, so see how long it takes to do one dread. The video I watched was on a woman with amazingly long dreads. They must have been down past her rear end. But mine are obviously much shorter, and I am inexperienced, so I'm probably not going to be quite, well, it might be around 10 minutes, but that's because mine are shorter, so. Good, so this one will come back out. And you can see that spot that was kind of all bumped up, totally gone. Not even an issue. So. And I will say the very first couple that I did in my car, in the driver's seat, parked somewhere, because I was so excited to try out the crochet hook that I couldn't even wait to get inside somewhere. And when I did it, I was doing it with the visor down right in front of me, so there was a mirror right there, and it actually made a big help. So if you can do it in front of the mirror, I think it helps, especially if you're first learning, like I am. Like I know for me, having the webcam preview right in front of me actually is actually helping a good bit. And I was so excited. It was so hard to wait to come over here to do this with you guys. The only thing I will say when you get your roots real tight like this is that sometimes I don't like the fall as nice as they were, which I'm kind of just starting to experience, but I'm sure that once I wash them for the first time, they will relax a little bit again, and that won't be a problem. So you can see I'm about down to here now. I've only got the kind of the fat end left here. And once I get to the end, I'll show you how I've been getting some of those stubborn hairs that I've had at my tips to stay in. Oh, and I know what I wanted to mention earlier. Some of the videos I watched on how to do this, the people were talking about not recommending. I think I mentioned it a little bit, but they mentioned not wanting to get a hook that's much over 1 millimeter because, or over at all, because if you could start to have little holes in your threads. But I can tell you that mine, being only 6 weeks old, I am not having that problem in the least. So, I mean, the crochet hook itself only cost me $1.99. So if later on in life, when they're more mature, it does start to have issues, I'm not really too concerned about going off and just tossing this one and getting a new one. That's no big deal. And as a matter of interest, it's really neat how you can feel how much harder they get. I mean, when they get mature, they get hard, but even this just makes a huge difference. Alright, so now I'm pretty much at the end here. You can kind of see. I mean, it gets a little wider at the end, but that's pretty normal. I've got these little wispies here. Let me see if I can the end. So I'm going to twirl them up to make them into as neat a strand as I can. I'm going to reach the crochet hook down so that it's coming out the end here. And I want to wrap these hairs around it. I'm going to hold the very end of it, and I'm just going to pull it up as much as I can. There we go. And just for good measure, I'm going to do just a little bit right at the end here where I pulled that hair up to make sure that it's kind of tangled in there good. So I don't want them to come back out. That's been my problem lately. Is my ends are still coming out. Not a lot, but just enough to annoy me. I'm kind of a perfectionist, to be fair. So there you go. There it is. It is all done. And this is the one I did. And here is the one next to it. You can see what a huge difference it makes. Ta-da! Happy crocheting!